Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry. Listen, no time for apology, okay? I had to get my PowerPoint presentation together. You guys, what is going on? Justin Bieber has finally broke his silence. I repeat, Justin Bieber has finally broke his silence. However, he is still adamantly, it seems like, under Diddy's control in the form of his father-in-law. You guys, we dug up some disturbing evidence. We have some video. We are actually very, very worried for that. On top of that, there is a really good update with Ava Baroni and her frantic last message. We had that. But we also did some digging and found out what the articles, the current news organizations are saying about Ava and the way they're basically low key pointing the finger back at Diddy. And the answers they gave us are even worse than what we saw. You guys, let's get into this. We have so much to talk about. First of all, how's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing okay. Let's just jump right into this mess, okay? Where do you guys want to start off first? I know we're going to start off with Justin Bieber because I think that is one of the most shocking things. Not the most shocking thing, but between that and Ava, yeah. Listen, on top of that, you know that there is a 6-year-old that literally has photographic proof that he was at one of Diddy's wild parties. His parents took him now. Before we drag the parents, it was advertised. Well, not advertised. They were invited because his dad was a famous photographer. And it was advertised as like an afternoon barbecue for 4th of July, something that was family friendly. Again, like the guy said, why were you letting, if y'all knew this stuff was happening, how did we get past security? How did we even get into the venue? Anyway, we'll get into that. Let's start with the Justin Bieber breaks his silence, shall we? Now, just to give you guys a little background, of course, that's Ava Baroni. We'll get to her in a second, her frantic last message, okay? But you look at Diddy and you look at Justin. Before we knew Diddy was a monster, y'all know that Diddy was bragging all up and down. Yeah, he was at my Diddy camp, flavor, love, whatever you want to call it. And that Usher had kind of given, or Scooter Braun. It was a whole big thing. Basically, he was passed and everyone wanted to take credit for doing that. We also know that Justin had a very, very, very difficult, hard childhood. And we saw him grow up, turn into a rug addict. We saw him get clean. We saw him go through a racist stage where he was saying the N-word all the time. We saw a lot of stuff. A very troubled young man, okay? And even as he grew into an adult, he still struggled to kick.
It was hard for me.
He also made a lot of comments about wanting to save other people in the industry. We're about to get into his broken silence and the way his father-in-law looks like he is deep in Diddy supporter. And that might be one of the reasons why Diddy was able to have such a hold on him. And even as Justin got older, he was not able to escape Diddy's grasp because his father-in-law is the main app. Anyway, Justin Bieber got on everybody's radar before the Diddy stuff sometime last year, where he did this heartbreaking interview. Listen to what he has to say, and then we're going to get into what he said currently. But just listen to this and listen to the pain in his voice. It's just a few seconds, okay?
Being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. So if she ever needs me, I'm going to be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters, and I just want to protect her, I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. Yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
Now, just in case anybody missed it, the way he turned out
being that
when he said people go through,
encounter for her, but yeah, just protecting those moments because
listen,
people take for granted encounters, and I just want to protect her, I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. Yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
Now, if you guys don't know Billie Eilish, of course you guys know who Billie Eilish is. She is incredibly huge and successful, but she started off, I believe, as a TikTok star, and she got a lot of heat on TikTok, and it catapulted her into the record industry. Justin Bieber actually jumped in and said he was going to protect Billie Eilish, and this was from last year or 2 years ago. And everybody's like, "What are you talking about? Protect her from what? Like, we thought you had the perfect childhood." But apparently now we see that he may have been talking about his mess with Diddy. Now there is a lot of videos circulating around of Justin looking terrified about Diddy. Diddy looking like he gave him the Chirac special, the Epstein special. All this stuff is going on. Now, interestingly enough, right? Hailey was presented as the perfect loving wife, helping him work through all his demons, helping him do whatever, and a rock, unlike the wild child Selena Gomez. Again, I know this is me, the narrative, but there were so many things where you saw her just while he looked like he was just spinning out of control and crashing out. Hailey looked like she was being his rock. I even at when this Diddy stuff came out, I said, man, we really misjudged her, or at least I did, because I thought she was just some home record that the Kardashians, if you guys don't know what happened with this, one of the reasons why, let me put y'all down. This is a little aside, but let me give you a little back reference, right? Why everybody was kind of down on Hailey. Justin and Selena were dating, okay? They've been together forever. They thought they were going to get married. It was rumored Selena was with child, okay? Now, while they were dating, apparently Kendall and Kylie would always be like, girl, 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 come out, come out, come out. And she'd be like, no, I'm chilling with Justin. And they'd be like, Selena, leave that man. Come fly with us to Paris. Come to this birthday party. Come to this yacht party. So Selena would be like, you know what? I'm going to have girl time. And she would fly over. And then they would be like, yo, sometimes she'd be like, yo, what's Justin doing? He's been being quiet. And they were like, yo, don't worry about that man. You know that man loves you. Don't worry about that man. You know that man loves you, okay? So she was always, whenever she left him, because they were inseparable, she'd be with them. But little did she know that they were inviting her to parties because Hailey Bieber would then, because she was creeping with Justin, right? They say Selena and Justin were on and off, but all I know is Selena ain't know when she was being invited out that Justin was there. So anyway, Hailey Bieber, when they would call, whenever Hailey Bieber wanted to get closer to Justin and get in his face, that's when Kendall and Kylie, right? Kylie, and I think they even said something about the Hadid sisters, would invite her out to parties and stuff so Hailey could have uninterrupted time with her man. And they were running interference and distracting. That's why Selena Gomez was so hurt, what the streets were saying, when she found out that Justin and Hailey were a thing and they popped up and got engaged quick. A lot of people said, Joe, y'all got engaged way too quick, but they had been messing around for a while. Hailey was just able to be like, no, I'm the emotional supportive one. However, there's reason why that happened. On top of that, people are saying that's why Selena went for Gigi Hadid's man, went for Bella Hadid's man, went after Kylie's man. Let's not forget she was chilling with Travis Scott, and went after any man that Kendall looked at, because you know Selena Gomez is a Cancer. And one thing about a Cancer, they believe, baby, they can be the sweetest, nicest, most loyal, trustworthy people, but when you cross them, baby, when you go low, they go to hell. Selena Gomez went to hell. They ain't had peace with a man yet. They have not had peace with a man yet. Anyway, let's get back to the serious stuff. Just thought I'd give you guys a little backlog of like the gossip lore behind the whole Selena Hailey. So everybody on Selena's side looked at Hailey as like, not only were you a homewrecker, but y'all was slick with it. Oh, no, 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 no. So people were always thinking that like Hailey was just like, you know. Anyway, when the Diddy stuff came out, people were like, oh my God, maybe we weren't like as nice to, oh, that's right. She messed with Orlando Bloom too, baby. Ain't no peace in that house. That's right. Anyway, right? But in any case, let me just get to that. So in any case, all that stuff happened. So even with this happening, I was like, yo, we've actually been looking at this all wrong. Maybe Hailey really was that soft landing, that comfort that he needed. Maybe he actually, right? Maybe he's actually like, he found his person. However, Did he? And I say that with a lot of did he? Because he even when they asked him about what was going on with the Diddy case, instead of doing what we thought he was going to do, right? And be like, what are you talking about? You know, Kevin Hart was like, don't ask me no questions. Everybody else has been silent. It's odd that when they asked him, hey, what's going on with the Diddy case, Justin Bieber's response is saying, right? Saying he has no intention of commenting on the Diddy case and he's just focused on being a great dad and husband right now. Now, when I heard that, I thought that this was really, really weird. And the fact that I have more, I'm just giving you guys a setup. I thought that was really, really weird because I was like, you're not going to comment either way. And he's like, he has no intention and he's focused on being a great dad and husband. Somebody comes up to you and says, what do you have to say about this person? Rumors that this person groomed you from a young age and did this and that and blah, 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 blah. Would you say, I have no intention of commenting? Now, hear me out. He could have just took the silent route. He could have just ignored it. But the fact that they released a statement and he said, I have no intent. Oh, he said, I have no intention on commenting on this right now. At this moment, I'm just focused on being a great dad and husband. This is also when they asked him to comment on Sean Diddy's arrest. Listen to what he said. This is directly from his people, directly in People Magazine. People Magazine gets quotes directly from PR people, right? They said he's aware of Diddy's arrest and all of the allegations following the recent sex trafficking, sexual assault, and also grooming charges. It's not anything that he wants to focus on, though. Again, it's nothing you want to focus on. You could have said no comment, or you could have been, to me, it sounds like he's saying, all right, you know what? I'm not, it sounds like he's saying, you know what? I'm not, hold on, guys. It sounds like he's saying, you know what? I'm not focusing on right now, but I do have something to say. This isn't the spoiler. Listen, the power presentation is about to be good. Just let me cook, right? The insider notes that um, Justin is instead has been in a happy bubble since baby Jack was born. He just wants to focus on being a great dad and a husband. Again, really weird that somebody says, what do you have to say about these accusations? This man groomed you and this and that, blah, blah. I'm aware of all the allegations, but I'm not focusing on them right now. I'm focusing on being the best dad, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine, right? They went on to say that he's overjoyed at being a parent. The source said that the baby is such a miracle and the pregnancy was something that they very much wished and prayed for. The day they found out that Hailey was pregnant was the best day ever for Justin. He was over the moon with excitement. It was a big celebration for them, adding he's already a great dad. Super, super protective, and he vows to protect his son against everything he went to. There's also people saying that he's already decided that his son is not going to be industry and not going to be famous. Now, hold on. That's no surprise, especially when you consider the fact, and it's no surprise, which honestly, it really makes me look at, y'all know I'm going to talk about them. It really makes me look at Kim and Kanye really crazy now. Because don't get me wrong. I get the fact they want North to be bigger than anything. I get the fact that they think that like North is the most talented child ever. North is a very beautiful, very talented child, right? She, you know, at sometimes she got her mama's talent and her daddy's confidence, if you know what I'm saying. But she's a very talented child, graphic artist, all this other stuff. They keep both of them try to keep pushing her to be a star on the stage. Kanye wants her to be a huge rap star. Kim wants her to be, I don't know, whatever the Kardashian business is. She wants her to be bigger than big. Okay. And before I was like, yo, that's too much for a child. There's a reason why every famous person that comes from a famous family makes sure their children stay away from fame until they get old enough to handle it. Grown people are in rehab every day or spending $1 million a year on therapists because fame came and their adult minds couldn't handle it. Now, when I look at Justin Bieber, now when I look at the Ushers, now when I look at people that even had big talent behind them. They had parents that loved them. They had big managers. They were big deals. And look what was happening to them. Now, granted, do we know if it was happening 100%? No, we don't. I do have to say this is based upon information and belief based off of blog articles, TikToks, photo assumption, right? It is speculation, but a lot of people believe that something happened because something changed when Justin was with Diddy. And when you see the videos of them together, there's a weird energy. An energy that as a kid, I would not want to be around, and I would not want any kin of mine or anybody's around that energy. Okay. It really makes me look at the Kardashians and especially Kanye and Kim, because, I was just seeing something the other day about it. Look at them even weirder, because how can you think you can protect your child from this evil? From everything that's coming out, if we can believe everything, and I know there's a lot of rumors about a lot of things, baby, we focus on Diddy because Diddy hasn't even gotten to court yet. I kind of feel like there's this weird thing going on where, just hear me out. I feel like there's this weird thing going on where it's all this confusion now, and everybody's kind of taking their focus off of Diddy. But Diddy's the one we have in our sights, and Diddy's the one we actually need to get to trial. You know what I'm saying? So we focusing on Diddy right now. But the point of the matter is, why, when you see how at the very least apathetic, right, the music and entertainment industry is, at the very least, they saw what was happening and they didn't care, right? They saw what was happening to all these people with the Diddy and they didn't care. They just wanted their money. At the very worst, they were actively like doing some energy harvesting or something. Why would you want your kids in that? They don't have enough money or power to protect their children from that. All they can hope to do is that their children be on the top totem pole. Now I'm looking at anybody. I get it. People got bills to pay. People come from poverty. I get it why everybody wants to see if they can snatch victory from the jaws of a crocodile. But I am being serious when I say that for people that are super rich and super comfortable, why would you even want to play Russian roulette with your kids being in therapy for the rest of their lives or going through something that Justin Bieber goes to? Anyway, right? So that's Justin Bieber. I thought those comments were super, super weird. And I'm like, why doesn't he want to talk about this? Or even if you are a student of PR, it's not the point of why you don't want to talk about it. It's the fact that why are you? Because you know that you can easily just say no comment or just ignore it. The fact that they reached out to people. They reached out to people. This wasn't a TMZ article on the street where, when they run up on you and they're like, excuse me, can you talk to TMZ? They reached out to people. And they decided to go on record with a statement that said, I'm aware of all that. And I'm not ready to discuss this right now. Right now, I'm focusing on being a dad and a father, but please believe my children will never be for me to speak. Oh, baby, I got something to say. It was very odd if you know anything about PR and stuff, okay? So we go into what's going on with the whole Hailey Bieber, okay? The tearful interviews. Hailey is like this perfect wife. She saved him, all this stuff. But then I started thinking, or did she? Because just listen to this, right? Again, he's focused on being a great dad and husband. He felt the need to give a statement saying that. And then I did a little digging, right? And shout out to Andamon Wonder on TikTok, right? If you active on TikTok, go ahead and get them a follow. ANDIMWONDER. Remember that old video that surfaced of Diddy, where everybody was inviting themselves to the Diddy 38th birthday? Okay. Look at this really quick. We have Ellen, we have Mariah, we have we have Prod. Who do we have right here? Who do we have here? This is an old VHS tape from 1999. Again, I really think that if Diddy had just committed these crimes 10 years, like in 1989, he would have gotten away with all of it, like Bill Cosby and Hugh Hefner. It's only the fact that he loved to chronicle things on tape. We have Stephen Baldwin. This is Hailey Baldwin's father. Hailey Baldwin is Justin Bieber's wife. Okay. He literally, right, was one of the people super, 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 just let me cook, super, super tight with Diddy. They go back even before 1998, where he filmed this, right? But Diddy had all his close friends come and film this. So this is the first instance that we have on tape of how, and there goes Clive Davis, right? Of how close Stephen Baldwin was with Diddy. Again, the people that were in the video message. So what Diddy did was have everybody sit down and make an invite and be like, "Hi, it's Diddy's 38th birthday and you're invited." And those people on that tape, the tape was sent out to all the party guests, and that's how you know. This is a People article. I cut it off where they said, this is of course Jay-Z and Diddy, where they said exclusive photos from Diddy's 38th birthday party. Okay, this is in 1998. TikTok wasn't around then. I don't even, was Instagram around in 1998? I don't think so. The point of the matter is there's photos and then there's that videotape to show that Stephen Baldwin was in Diddy's inner circle. Just let me cook. And then let me know what you think, but let me cook first, all right? So there we have Stephen, right? There we see his rich baby daddy Clive. We see his rich side joint Jay-Z. I know, but listen, we ain't getting sued on these channels. We gonna wait until the charges come through. If that's a big if. Anyway, VIP guests to that 38th birthday party included Jay-Z, Pharrell, Diddy's former longtime girlfriend Kim Porter, and Stephen Baldwin. They were so tight because you guys have to remember when people write these things up, people works closely with media and celebrities, PR people. This write-up was given to people, and then people put their own little shine on it. But the PR people give people what they want to say, who they want mentioned. People wasn't invited to that party. No. Those photos came from Sean Diddy, came from Diddy's PR people, and they were given to people. Okay, people did not have a photographer there. Also, who was in attendance and the guest list? Diddy wanted us to know these were his crew. He wanted us to know he was rolling hard with Jay-Z. He wanted us to know he was rolling hard with Pharrell. And, you know, everybody's focused on Jay-Z right now. There was a lot of people in those pictures. Pharrell, Diddy's former longtime girlfriend, Kim Porter, was there. And also Stephen Baldwin. He name-checked Stephen Baldwin. But hold on, it gets deeper. Right? He is a long-time Diddy supporter. If you go to Getty's Images, all of Diddy's record releases, all of Diddy's parties, or damn near all of them, a super high amount for not a normal person. Stephen Baldwin was not just there, he was front and he was center. Their ties go back super, super deep and super, super long. Now listen to this. Let's get back into Stephen Baldwin, Hailey's dad, Justin's father-in-law. A few years ago, a lot of people don't realize, but Stephen Baldwin was caught having a fake burner account. He had a burner account in which he would look at people's pictures. He would do this, he would do that. Okay, fine. He's a star. Lots of stars have burner accounts. But what was the weird thing about Stephen Baldwin's burner account? There's Hailey behind him and his other daughter, right? He called it lingo gooling, right? Humble to know the truth. Let's keep going. What was so weird about that account was lingo gooling all his photos. Every single one of his photos was a weird picture of either Justin Bieber, a few of his daughters, and a couple of weird pictures of, I think, his current girlfriend at that time. But even if you look at the pictures of his girlfriend and his daughters, he still has more Justin Bieber pictures up there. On top of that, this is supposed to be his son-in-law, and you have pictures of this. Now, when you see this, you might think what I thought. Okay, fine. He got a weird, sick sense of humor. Like you look at like the Pete Davidson type of humor. There's a type of humor I acknowledge that is very popular, but I just don't get it. Like I don't get the Pete Davidson type of humor. I said maybe he has that whole Jimmy Fallon, Pete Davidson, Justin Timberlake, type of humor that I just don't get. But the pictures kept on getting weirder, right? He would have these weird pictures of Justin Bieber, obviously photoshopped to put Justin Bieber's head on the picture of a ballerina. Do they call them men? Ballerinas, ballerinos, whatever they call them, right? Again, it gets a little weird. Just hold back, right? Pictures of Justin shirtless, thinking he looks sexy, even though, yuck, right? Because he's young. He's young, right? Again, these are the pictures that are on his burner Instagram account, Facebook account, which was confirmed to be his burner Facebook account. You can Google how everybody found out about it, right? Then just let me cook. Then these messages actually surfaced. Hold on. These messages actually surfaced also. Uh, Stephen Baldwin, who Justin has had to bail out a bunch of times, has had to bail out of debt. I believe he has a gambling problem. And it said he likes to party the way Diddy likes to party. Okay. I mean, like, no Coca Cola, no ice. Somebody leaked text messages that Stephen Baldwin was having with another person who I think he owed money or something, where he was actually talking about Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber is a lost soul in need of change. The curse is carried out in yet another young superstar. And FYF, Biebs the blonde doesn't do you justice. This young man has so much talent, but it's turned in a bad direction. Wish he would go back to ba 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 ba. All right. Now, at first, it sounds like he's just really, really concerned, right? Lol, literally, he's talking to pastors and he's basically telling them this boy needs to be saved. But the thing that's interesting about this is he wasn't just talking to anybody. He was talking to the head pastor of the Hillsong Church. Okay. If you guys don't know, Hillsong Church has been accused of being a lot of things. Basically, they even call it like a pyramid scheme. They get people that are going through things, especially if they are celebrity, and they tie them to it, and you have to tie it to them through either when you go to Hillsong, one thing you'll notice if everybody's attractive, it's multiracial, it's this, that everybody's attractive. And I'm not talking about like a level 6 to 7. I'm not talking about an office attractive. I'm talking about when you walk into that church, everybody that works there, that's a part of there, that's even a helper, that volunteers, the ushers, they all look like models. Every single one. I've never seen somebody below an 8.5 or a 9 at Hillsong. I remember when I walked in there, I said, wow, do I need to praise the Lord? Everybody, the men, the women, everybody, they are super, super attractive. It is part of their marketing, okay? But when they get celebrities to pull them in, they do like most organizations. They try to pull you in through a relationship. They try to pull you in by becoming married or getting with somebody that has deep ties to the church. Hillsong has been accused of fleecing people. They've been accused of a lot of stuff, okay? We don't need to get into that. It's a whole nother documentary. Google Hillsong, okay? But a lot of people used to say that Justin Bieber was their mark. Don't forget, when you go to churches, you have to pay tithes, which can be anywhere from 10% on up of your income that you pay to the church. So someone bringing in Justin Bieber, who is going through addiction, who is young, who needs direction, but he is a multimillionaire. That is nothing like but a cash cow. Let's not forget it's 10%, right? Okay. Again, all this is odd because you know me. I'm like, okay, this is odd, but what else is it, right? Stephen Baldwin, Hailey's dad, he was speaking multiple times at the church. He did meet and greets. He was all about Hillsong. Even though Stephen Baldwin's will behavior, unlike the pastor of Hailey and Justin's church, literally publicly posting on Instagram anyway, it doesn't matter. He's done weird stuff. Go ahead and look at the TikTok, right? But let's keep going because the rabbit hole gets deeper. All right. He went into Hillsong because Justin kept getting these things where it seemed like he was really into Hailey and was like, oh my God, Hailey saved me. But then Stuff kept happening in their marriage nobody knows about. We know that he had to bail Stephen Baldwin out of tax debt, and sometimes the house was going to be lost, and all these things that were being said. But there was one time that there were rumors that Justin and Hailey were very, very close to divorce. And around that time, Stephen Baldwin went in on himself to go, hold on, it's going to all wrap around. But I got to just tell you, went in there to be like, and he did a whole, went in front of a different congregation, but it's all Hillsong. So they all pay attention to what they are doing, and told everybody to pray for Justin and Hailey. Justin was super, super, super pissed off because why are you putting my business in the street? Let's also not forget more ties to Hillsong. Once he started dating Hailey, the way he got sucked in. Justin Bieber, Kendall Jenner, and Hailey Baldwin attend Hillsong Church together, okay? He even tried to bring the Kardashians with them in here, right? Now, Frank Houston, the father of Hillsong Church, and the father of Hillsong Church founder Brian Houston was a pastor in New Zealand and Australia who sexualized boys over the course of its ministry. One of the 9 identified victims was routinely subjugated to sexual abuse in the 1960s and 70s when he was just 7 to 12 years old. Why do I bring this up? Because the founder's father was already into that BS. A lot of people say that birds of a feather flock together and water seeks water. Okay, just hold that in your head. We're going to come back around to that. Okay, so this is from the Hillsong Church on Wikipedia. Now I'm following. Okay, there was a scandal in Hillsong Church when one of the pastors, who was a big buddy of Justin Bieber, they were super tight. He was found to have been cheating on his wife, but there was some other really weird stuff going on. I don't want to talk about it because I'm going to get sued. You're going to have to Google it, but there was some other really weird stuff going on. Following the scandal, okay, Justin revealed in January 2021. Now, mind you, he started going to Hillsong Church when he started dating Hailey. As a matter of fact, Stephen Baldwin insisted it. He was always in the middle of the relationship, always pulling them, always doing that. Stephen Baldwin is super good friends with Diddy. Why is that important? We're about to get to that. In January 2021, he said that he was no longer affiliated with Hillsong and joined Churchstrom. Okay? He joined Churchstrom. The only problem with Churchstrom is, okay? The only problem with Churchstrom is Churchstrom was also recommended to him by Stephen Baldwin. However, Churchstrom has huge ties, right? From one controversial pastor to another. Meet Judah Smith, the Churchstrom leader that Justin Bieber has turned to after parting ways with Carl Lentz. That's the pastor of Hillsong that was like Bieber's best friend that he cut ties with, and whose church hired someone accused of blank and was sued for forcing staff to donate 10% of their wages. So he went from one place that seemed to be exploiting him to another, all under the guise of religion. People said that when Stephen realized that he couldn't hold Justin anymore with Hillsong, he went into this church. Okay, hold on. It's about to come full circle. And tell me what you think, okay? Now, the celebrities involved with Hillsong Church. Kim Kardashian and Ye's wedding was officiated by the pastor who, while not part of Hillsong, was described as a great friend of Hillsong Church. Jay-Z, Oprah Winfrey, Hugh Jackman, and Lenny Kravitz are also part of Hillsong's famous flock. Okay, fine. I mean, you know, Hollywood's a small circle, but there's a little bit more to this. Listen to, this is Justin Bieber on the Ellen Show, and he's going to talk to us. Listen closely. He's telling the story of the way he met Hailey, right? And how he feels about Hailey's relationship. Now, there is a little laughter in this, but knowing what we know now, just listen before we get to the next part of this breakdown. Didn't I tell y'all I had a PowerPoint? I was working today. Listen to this.
Basically was like, you know, I think because she was raised Christian, and I think they found out that, like, I think it was an arranged marriage, I'm pretty sure. I'm not looking back now, I'm like, it was definitely an arranged marriage. Like,
He thought that he met Hailey organically, but he says very clearly that looking back, he feels like this is around the time they were having marriage problems when he was on Ellen. He said, looking back, he feels like he was put into an arranged marriage. Looking back, just keep listening to this.
They set this whole thing up. No, but
when he said they set this whole thing up, Stephen Baldwin definitely had a role to play. But the streets are also saying that Stephen Baldwin is very, very good friends with Diddy. Okay? You see the evidence, this and that. He was like one of the very guest of honors at the 38th birthday party. I mean, they're good friends. However, around this time, Justin Bieber was trying to get away from all that. That's when he was having problems with addiction issues. He was having problems with acting out. He got this weird racist streak where he was saying the N-word, peeing and bucket. It was all this crazy stuff that he was doing. He was walling out. He was about to break free. He wanted to retire from the music industry. He wanted to retire from everybody he knows. It's around the time where he was caught at that party with Odell Beckham Jr. All this stuff. He wanted to break free. During that time, I'm ruining the story. I'm telling you guys too much. You know what? Hold on. Listen to what he's saying, and then I'm going to add in. Just listen to the end of this.
Since, like, you know, she was raised Christian, she's like, oh, I want to, you know, introduce you to Justin and his mom. You know, they have similar values and believe the same thing. We think you guys would be good friends. It was definitely an arranged marriage.
Okay, just to let you guys hear what he just said. He said he felt like it was an arranged marriage because while he was going through a tough time, he was encouraged to cling to religion. Stephen Baldwin encouraged him came into his life out of nowhere, encouraged him to stick to religion, but also encouraged him, forced him even to consider his daughter a friend and then later on a lover. Now, listen, I know it sounds crazy, but let me just say, Diddy and Stephen Baldwin are friends. Justin Bieber is walling out and everybody's losing control. Is it not normal to assume that when two friends see someone else that's single, oh, you got a daughter? Yo, let's see if we can hook them up. Why? Because it keeps everything in the family. This happens all the time. Now, it's true with this stuff, it seems it's gross, but it happens all the time. He was pulling away from everyone. He was saying he was going to retire, right? He was at that time rolling hard with Diddy, doing all this stuff, really spinning out of control. He says at times he didn't even think he was going to make it to the next day. And if you look at the paparazzi pictures, and yeah, I believe it. It was on par with, I think, what was going on with Britney Spears as far as her just crashing out in front of everyone. Hailey had always been in his life. They forced this relationship. Even Justin Bieber says it. We're going to get into that in a second because we have video. They forced this relationship. Selena Gomez was not cool with Diddy, even though there is a video I have. I'll put it on a thing where Selena Gomez went to a Diddy party before the pre-Grammys, and when she came back, she could barely even walk straight. Okay. But Selena Gomez definitely wasn't down with any churches. She wasn't really down with the Diddy set. Yeah, they would party, this and that, but then that's it. You know what I'm saying? They systematically, with the help of the Kardashians, who just so happened to start going to Hillsong with Justin, going to Hillsong with Oprah, Jay-Z, Lenny Kravitz, like they got the stars, going to Hillsong with Hailey, who is a Hillsong baby, right? She is like Miss Hillsong. They started wrapping him up. Selena was not down with Hillsong, and they systematically moved her out the way. You see why I was telling you about that cheating earlier, where every single time they would invite Selena to like parties or something halfway across the world so Hailey could have time with Justin alone? She never suspected Justin and Hailey. However, let's go back to this because we have more.
They found out that, like, I think it was an arranged marriage, I'm pretty sure. I'm not... Looking back now, I'm like, it was definitely an arranged marriage. Like, they set this whole thing up. No, but since, like, you know, she was raised Christian, she's like, oh, I want to, you know, introduce you to Justin and his mom.
You know, they have similar values and believe the same thing. We think you guys would be good friends. It was definitely an arranged marriage.
And the third song.
Now, this is actually a little bit disturbing. This is, look at the way everybody's looking at Stephen Baldwin. This is when Justin Bieber, this is the first time that Hailey Bieber ever met Justin Bieber. The very first time. It was actually caught on tape. They were at, I think, a concert. Justin Bieber had just finished performing. They were somewhere. Stephen ran up to Justin. Many people are saying that Diddy was the one that brokered the meeting. Again, Stephen is really good friends. Stephen has always been, people said he's a little bit swarmy. He has issues, debt. There's all this stuff, right? I have no doubt in my mind, I don't know them, but I have no doubt in my mind that I think Stephen was looking at Justin as a paycheck. However, pay attention to Hailey, because Hailey is the one that pulled him into Hillsong. You know how that is. You do what your husband likes, you do what your wife likes. But look at the way this guy is looking at Stephen. Stephen came out of nowhere. They were saying Justin was right for the picking. But look at the moment and the way Hailey's acting. And keep in mind when Justin said, this was all a setup. They set me up. They wanted to happen. They. Listen.
This is my daughter, Hailey. The third song. Yeah, we've been enjoying.
Look, did you see Hailey's face? She looks like she doesn't want to be there. What's more, she looks like her dad dragged her out of bed and she didn't even have time to wash her face. Look at this.
Similar values and believe the same thing. We friends. It was definitely an arranged marriage.
Steve, and the third song. This is my daughter, Hailey. The third song. Yeah, we've been enjoying your music.
Thank you. I think I met you briefly.
The first song.
Airport, Detroit Airport.
Oh yeah.
You said randomly that you didn't like my story. I just met Stephen Baldwin. Really cool dude. Just gave me this this skate video that he produced. It's awesome. It's cool. He was a great guy. Met this kid. It was a lot of fun.
They have
Again,
similar values and believe the
sorry, y'all know my
It was
thing.
definitely an
Again, that was the very first moment that Justin ever met Stephen Baldwin or Hailey Baldwin. And since then, they have always been pushing for Hailey to be a part of his life, saying, no, this is my daughter. There's even articles where he's like, no, I wanted them to hang out. I wanted them to be friends. He was pushing the issue. Justin had no idea what was going on. But it's funny that the same age they met, it's the same age as when Justin was around Diddy after that Diddy camp and he was sent to be there for 48 hours. Again, it seems like everyone mobilized to keep Justin. Now, here's the thing. They could have mobilized because Hailey's dad saw him as a bread ticket. They could have mobilized because, like some streets are saying, Diddy was like, yo, like get on this, right? Because they liked it when somebody wants to keep you in any organization, no matter what it is, they make sure that everybody around you, even down to your love interest, is down with the cause. They had an issue with Selena Gomez because Selena Gomez is deeply flawed and has her own issues, but she wasn't down with that 1, 2, and 3 at all. And they were always constantly trying to break them up. Again, look at this. The way he's so innocent. And he's like, yo, I just met Stephen Baldwin. He doesn't even know why Stephen is so eager. You know what it looks like to me? You know how like when you hook people up and you're just like, hey, I have somebody I want you to meet, right? But then you tell your other friend who you're really tight with, yo, let me give you the 411 on them. They like this. They don't like this. Because you want it to work out. So you give them the 411 on what they like, what they don't like, how to approach them, how to talk to them, what will impress them. Now, who could have given Stephen that information? Look at the way Justin's people are looking at him. They don't know him. He got in there. He wasn't even supposed to be that close. Like, oh, hi, my name's Stephen. How would he know he likes skating, skateboard videos? How would he know he likes this? How would he know he likes that? I mean, maybe he could have stayed up reading teen magazines, but back then, Justin Bieber was, I don't know. I never read anything about him liking skateboard. Many people are saying that he was given this information through his contacts with Diddy. Diddy always kept his thumb on Justin, no matter how old Justin got. Y'all saw the way he roll up and be like, yo, how come you ain't answering my phone? What's going on? And Justin would be like, I'll give you my number now. But now, as he got older and as the pain of whatever he was going through got more and more deep, he started pulling away from everyone, even that whole lifestyle, probably because it was going to end him. Selena Gomez was starting to pull away from that whole lifestyle. And Hailey Bieber, I meant Hailey Bieber, not Halle Berry, she was always in the background, but they moved Selena out the way and got her in. Listen to this. Let's just watch this one more time.
This is my daughter Hailey. The third song. Yeah, we've been enjoying your music.
Thank you. I think I met you briefly at the first song. Airport, Detroit Airport.
Oh yeah.
You said randomly that you like my story. I just met Stephen Baldwin. Really cool dude. Just gave me this this skate video that he produced. It's awesome. It's cool. He was a great guy. Met his kid. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. You see the way he said, just met his kid. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. He didn't know what was in the cards for him. Super, super odd. He didn't know what was in the cards for him. Again, this could all be nothing. And again, when you start looking at anything close enough, everything looks like it's connected. But I find it very, very odd that a Diddy supporter, not even supporter, a close friend of Diddy since 1996 or 1995, literally guest about a close friend, somehow knew where to hit Justin up. This is after Justin was spending all his time at the Diddy camp. Where to hit Justin up, what to say to him, what gifts to give him. Pushed his daughter up. You saw Hailey. She didn't want to be there. She looked like she didn't even have time to wash her face. And like her dad was like, just come on. Got your daughter, pushed the relationship. The Kardashians, who are also deep in Hillsong, but also really, really deep with Diddy, literally started running interference and pulling Selena away from Justin so Hailey could, be all over LA with them. It's a grimy game, right? It's a grimy game. Doing all this stuff. And then when Justin finally got to the point where he felt like he was going to break because of all the things that were destroying his soul, and he tried to separate from everything, all of a sudden, Hailey steps even more with, I'll help you. I'll be your guiding force. Let's focus on the church. And every time he would have doubts about Hailey, the church would be like, no, you guys need to stay together. Again, Stephen Baldwin runs-ish in Hillsong. Again, am I saying Diddy's connected to Hillsong? No, I am saying that for your father-in-law to still be a very, very good friend. He still goes to all of Diddy's parties. Well, at least the last party Diddy had. For your father to be a very, very good friend of Diddy, to be so involved with your life and so involved with your relationship. There's also a lot of blog articles. And by that, I mean people and stuff that actually said there was a time where he didn't even want Stephen Baldwin around. And it was causing issues between Hailey and her dad because he kept pushing the issue. This is like a few years ago. And he was like, yo, I'm sick of it. He's tried to separate himself. But how is it as a man that had you in the camp, that man that had you at the parties with Odell Beckham, the man that did this, your father-in-law is like this with still to this day? Still to this day? Listen, it's a little odd. It's a little odd. That's all I'm saying. It could be nothing, but it's a little odd. I think you guys have to admit, I thought it was a little disturbing. Who sits there and looks at a little kid while they're talking with this much interest? This is a grift. This is a con. But I'm telling you, the same way you'll be like, hold on. So, girl, he don't like this. He don't like this. He don't like this. Girl, just say you love your mama. Like, come on. Say you're super close with your family. He likes a family girl. You put your friend down with like what the other person wants to hear because you're like, I know once you get past those things, it's going to be a match made in heaven. All right, let's keep going.
I just met Stephen Baldwin. Really cool dude. Just gave me this. Now, let
me also say this. Somebody said, why can't the feds help Justin? I do want to say that the federal case is ongoing 100%. We have not seen the end of it. And the feds have clearly said those that witnessed, those that played a part, those that helped, but also those that just sat there and like witnessed, the Fed said there will be co-conspirators and then there will be people that are helping the government, right? If you do not go and say what you know, to help the government with their thing, they will look at you as a co-conspirator. Now, with Justin, if the rumors are true, clearly he is a victim of some sort. I don't know what happened between him and Diddy. Nobody actually knows. We do know that the lifestyle Diddy had him around, it seemed like it turned him out, and it seemed like it had him spiraling, right? And it was just weird that he was given to Diddy for 24 or 48 hours or whatever it is. I do just want to say that the government investigation is not over. There are superseding charges, as you guys know. So we have to hold faith. I do know that I think we should actually listen, we can walk and chew gum at the same time. Everybody can focus on what they want. I think we need to keep our eyes so locked into Diddy, because I feel like there's a bunch of smoke screens and confusion, and everybody's running this way and that way. And I'm not saying they don't have to. Yes, wild horses run free. But we need to keep an eye to make sure that Diddy is held accountable. I sometimes feel like, and this is just me, I do sometimes like reading the papers and stuff in the last 2 days and like the blogs and stuff. And I know I'm a blog, and y'all know I be putting 20 on 10 sometimes, right? When I see a connection, baby, everybody's going to see a connection, you know? So yeah, I know, like I got a flair for the dramatic, and I understand you got to be dramatic. I get that. But I feel like there are so many insane stories coming out. I mean, from unreliable narrators, that after a point, if everything is insane, it kind of like numbs you so that the real stuff doesn't seem as bad. I think that what we know in Cassie's lawsuit, what we know in Little Rod's lawsuit, what we know in Liza Gardner's lawsuits, what we know of Tony Busby's lawsuits, right? What we know of Douglas Wigmore's lawsuit with the Jane Doe, I think that is more than enough to literally call for there to be real change and action. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, let me move on. All right. I just think, and one thing I do know, you're right, Diddy will be held accountable, but I feel like this is a weird play that Diddy's camp is making. Make him the boogeyman. Make there be a bunch of Trojan horses. So when we debunk the obvious lies, like there's some lies, it's just like, stop it, right? When we debunk the obvious lies, the lies is just like, y'all can't be serious. They're going to use that as leverage to say, and you know what? And all this other real stuff is true. Do you see what I'm saying? That's what I kind of feel like Diddy's camp is going to. Because again, we don't know what's going on. We don't know how deep it goes. Judging by the people that actually fought lawsuit, it goes deep. But the clearly crazy stuff, I feel like they're going to use that to be like, and this was said, and that was said, and Your Honor, there's all these crazy things being said. And they're going to try to use that to discredit, like the actual real things. You know, it's an astute PR strategy, but we'll see what happens, because baby, we ain't letting this go. You can try that all you want. We are not letting this go, right? Yeah, exactly. Who said that? Yeah, exactly. The breakdown said, right, trying to shift the narrative. Exactly. His camp is trying to run different angles, and whatever angles works, it'll work. Let's not forget that Diddy, people thought I was BSing. Diddy fired his lawyer, Mark Agnifilo. You're not going to see that man in jail. He already got 3 more lawyers, and he's adding more, right? I guess sitting in jail and bail, watching roaches do the Harlem Shake. Take this money, because you know the jail he's in, the holding center he's in, is supposed to be like rat infested, roach infested. So Diddy would probably like, and they don't have internet, so he basically looking at the walls, and he ain't doing nothing but teaching the rats and roaches to do the Harlem Shake. Now let's get it. Take this money. He probably did that for 3 days, right? Like a bootleg Cinderella. He did that for 3 days, and he was like, yeah, fire that mofo. I can't take this no more. Mark was like, just hang in there, buddy. Let's not forget, Mark got so much money from Diddy this 8 months he's been representing him. Only when he got arrested, Diddy should look at it as a blessing. Only when he got arrested did he realize that Mark was not the right one, was off target. But he has a whole new team. I do find it odd that his new team started 2 days ago. And in the last, hold on, my screen is buffering. Started 2 days ago. And in the last 2 days, the most phantasmic, unbelievable stories have come out about Diddy. Stories where it's just like, you can't be joking. Like, you. Anyway, let me move on, right? Let's get into this. Okay, we're going to get into Ava Baroni right now, but let me just say what's up to Stephanie Mansfield. What's up? Ernestine Hardy. What's up? Miss Jacka Trades. What's up? You said, TT, is it true that Twitch from Ellen was an informant to get information on Diddy and Ellen, and that's why he passed away? You know what, Miss Jackson? I cannot speak on that at all. I do know that Twitch's passing, well, I think that Twitch's passing was like very odd. But at the same time, when people self-delete, it never makes sense, ever. It never makes sense. It never. Why? It just never makes sense. But listen, I want to say this also. I feel like we have to I understand victims might be there, and I understand that victims might be scared, but where are the anonymous tips to the feds? Where are people reporting stuff? Like, I get the fact that it's like, oh, I'm in danger, but are you even going to try to report something? Like, I don't know. I actually don't know. Let me just move on. Hot Mess Summer, thank you so much for being a member. I'm just saying, I feel like if there's all these people that really believe it, like, where are the criminal complaints? Where are this? Where is what at the end of the day, I know what you're saying, but like I said, I don't think rappers and entertainers are like that powerful that they control the FBI and the CIA. And I do believe that even if they are covering up for very, very wealthy people, their job is to be the fall guy whenever a very, very wealthy person goes down. Case in point, look at Jeffrey Epstein. He got all his power by representing the interests and serving very, very wealthy people. As soon as their little operation was about to be uncovered, right? Jeffrey Epstein was given the caboose. He had to fall on his sword. And we now see he's either self-deleted or I don't know, right? But at the end of the day, Jeffrey Epstein had to go bye-bye. That's what happens when you represent rich and powerful people. When they think that that mess is going to come back to them, they cut off their arm to save the whole body. But guess what? You are their arm. Do you see what I'm saying? And that was Jeffrey Epstein. He was with presidents, head of states, prime ministers. Like his Rolodex was the Rolodex. Did he just throw parties in the Hamptons? Like, again, I feel like we are putting like entertainers and actors, like they are omnipotent. They're not. They don't even have as much money as y'all think they do. Anyway, let's keep going. But Hot Mess Summer. Hot Summer. What's up? Hot Mess Summer. Doreen Angel said, he says, Stephen Baldwin, Diddy, awful satanic men, but I feel his mom was really not a true advocate. Who knows? Maybe it was hidden from her. You know, at the end of the day, when it comes to Justin Bieber's mom, there's so much evil in the world. I would hate to think that someone's parents knew that was happening and still let it happen. But on the other hand, what were you doing giving your kid to another man that you didn't know? And you sign away your parental rights and he's there for whatever. It's like, I don't know you. At that point, I don't think she ever even met Diddy. I don't know you. I never met you. I don't know what you're into. You could have your goons run in. They could literally get into your Tucci stash and, OD. Like, forget about the sexual abuse. That is the worst. But you might actually be physically abusing. There's so many. I wouldn't leave my dog with somebody I didn't know, let alone a child, for 24 to 48 hours. And you're an entertainer. I don't know you enough. I wouldn't even leave my child with the neighbors, my dog with the neighbors. I wouldn't leave no kin of mine with the neighbors. So that, I thought that was weird. So it's like, we're going to have to wait for it to come out. It's just certain things in life. I'm like, I hope nobody is that evil. But if they are, they need to be held accountable too. They need to be held accountable too. Laura Close said, I'm not even that old, but how can grown people be interested in a kid? Great job, Tisa. Bieber was targeted by many grown adults who wanted to use them. And see, that's the thing. I get from the entertainment industry. And that's why I say we need to start looking at the financial trail. Because at the end of the day, yeah, Diddy might have wanted to diddle, but there's actually a like everybody looks at these people, kids, however you are when you get into the industry, as a commodity to use, to exploit. And if they get you there early enough, yeah. And that's what happened, I believe, to Justin Bieber. Is even if it's not sexual, there was an exploitive nature. That's why he was crying earlier about, just reminded, if you guys didn't see it, about the way he wants to find himself, like save her and protect her. Because in this industry, you find through, people and situations and this and that, right? Where people try you. And the way he was crying, you can't tell me he ain't had some things. And that's probably why he got involved in all those drugs to numb it. Let's also not forget Selena Gomez. Justin and Selena were rumored to be on methy, right? Hardcore stuff. Selena was a Disney kid. You already know with Quiet on the Set what be happening in Disney, right? Justin Bieber, all this stuff. Okay, for lying and all that stuff. Anyway, y'all, let's get into the next thing. Miss Jackson of Trade said, TT, is it true that Twitch? Oh, you already read that. Sorry. Is it true? Did you send me too? Okay. You said again, is it true that Twitch was an informant trying to get info on Diddy and Ellen? And that's a true reason why. Listen, I don't know. The Twitch situation, the Ellen situation, Twitch's wife says that this wasn't a surprise to her. I mean, at what point? I don't know. I actually haven't looked into it because I just saw his passing was like really sad and tragic. I really honestly can't tell you. I'll be the first if I'll know anything about something to be like I never really dug that deep into it because there's just some things and it was so raw. But again, nothing made sense to it. But in self-deletion, I've never seen or read an article about anybody that self-deleted themselves that made sense and that their final days weren't weird. But you know what? I'm sure TikTok will get on top of it and investigate it. The 89831 DJ Worship, thank you so much for the super sticker. Also, we have Queen C said, hi, Tisa. Have you seen Kanye's music video for a song Famous? If you have, do you think it could be a reference to a Diddy freak off? Let me tell y'all something. I 100% believe that Kanye's freaky self was right in the middle of a freak off. He probably arrived early while they were still setting up. That's how eager he was. Now, I could be wrong. Do I know if Kanye was at a freak off? No. But would I be surprised to find out Kanye was at a freak off? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He rolled too hard. But there was a certain time period where every picture was Kanye, Diddy, Pharrell, Jay-Z, and sometimes Drake. Now, again, they could have been all taking a picture together because, we all know Diddy and Jay-Z were super tight, right? The other ones could have just taken a picture because, you want to, like guys, like do that. Like, yeah, look at my click, It's like the way girls, some girls only want like pretty girlfriends, right? Yeah, look, we all tens. Guys do that too. So they could have just been like, the lore of like, yeah, we run in the industry. But yeah, we're going to say, do I believe that he was referencing? Oh, remember? Yes. Do you know why? Because remember this. One second. Remember this. I know y'all remember this. Remember this? Hold on, look at the screen. If y'all watching this at home, and put myself on the big screen. Do y'all remember this? What is this? This is that super, super, super. It's Kim Kardashian. It's around the time her and Kanye first got married. Do you see that purse right there? This is an Hermes purse that Kanye gifted. I'm sorry, a Birkin that Kanye gifted Kim. But the thing is with this purse, I'm going to make a whole video about this. It's actually good. The thing is with this purse, it was very, very odd. See, it was hand painted by a very, very, very famous artist. Okay. It was painted by George Condo. Look at the purse. It was painted by George Condo. And Kanye said that he had George Condo paint that purse with a picture that showed Kim where he found her to be the most beautiful ever. And if you look at that picture, it is a picture of Kim completely naked with 3 people around her, one in between her legs, one person holding back her hair, one person behind her. And they're all drawn of abstract faces and they have human bodies all butt booty naked, but they have demon faces on their face. They have demon faces on their face. And Kanye said it was taken from a picture where he looked at Kim and she looked like the most beautiful thing he'd ever seen. And that picture on the Birkin is 100% what is described to be a freak off. So, yeah. I do. I 100% do. Natalie K said, Tisa, did you hear about the new lawsuit from the trans man against Diddy? We're going to go live about that. Yes, but we did. Kim Marie Norman said, Hollywood small world. So just one man down can possibly bring down the whole house. Who would have thought Diddy would have been the one sinking the ship? Well, let me just tell you something, Kim Marie. I believe that Diddy is sinking a ship, and I think all the rats on that ship are going to drown. But I do believe that Hollywood and the system is going to survive, but all the evil people are going to be pulled out. And anyway, if you actually look at industry magazines, you know, one of the reasons why Diddy might actually be pulled down too, because Hollywood's not even as strong as it used to be. Warner Brothers is like literally like at one shred away from being bankrupt. LA looks like it might be, Los Angeles might be going the way to Detroit because they're pulling out all their studios because it's so expensive and they're trying to unionize. So Warner Brothers is moving some of their operations to Las Vegas, and all the other agencies, studios are moving to Las Vegas, but more importantly, they're moving overseas to Ireland. Ireland has very, very good tax rates. A lot of shows that we see now, like Wednesday on down, are actually filmed in Ireland. The new studios opening up in Las Vegas are going to be even better. Hollywood is pulling out of Los Angeles. Why? Because Hollywood can't compete with YouTube. They can't compete with TikTok. They can't compete with streaming services, even though they have their own. Go to and read some of these interesting newsletters. Hollywood, I think one of the reasons why Diddy is being exposed, as much as people want to like add 20 on 10. And again, I'm not saying that the 20 they're adding isn't the correct total. I am saying that Hollywood right now is at the weakest it's ever been, as far as financially, as far as the point of expansion. They laid off people at the studios. Then they laid off directors. They laid off producers. I'm talking about like shrimp. They laid off sound people, engineers, everything that's in charge of making movies. Then it went into scripted TV, right? There's a gang of layoffs and cancellations. Then it went into reality TV. You've seen Bravo. Reality TV been dead for a while. It can't compete with TikTokers that actually give you your real life without like looking so fake, right? So you have that. Do you know that when it comes to that, even broadcast journalism is about to go through crazy layoffs? Yes, news anchors. They're going to start with the little like, the local stations, like, Fox News. They're going to start off with the local newscasters, and then they're moving up to the national level. Again, broadcast is losing money. Pictures are losing money. The artists, you look at, what is it? You look at hip hop as a genre. Hip hop as a genre. That's why they so pressed for Cardi B to come out with her album. Hip hop with a genre. The tour numbers, besides Kendrick's tour and one other tour, the tour numbers have been in the toilet. People are not buying music like they used to. They're not going to concerts like they used to. Yeah, I know Beyonce, Mariah, they can charge whatever they want. But for the most part, people don't got the money for that. People do not have the money for that. So you look at even the record industry. Forget about the execs they just laid off, which might be connected to Diddy. The music industry has been taking hits hard. That's why they've been consolidating. They've been firing 60% of their force. They've been doing this. The money is going away. Online platforms have completely changed the way the gatekeepers get their money from. But with that change, It's a power vacuum. And they're trying to stabilize and kind of figure out how to get their hands into like the new mediums, but they waited too long. It's like Blockbuster and Netflix. Instead of getting on board with the future, they did everything they could to stop the future's bag. Everything they could, right? Even now, the Met Gala has TikTokers interviewing people, which shout out to TikTokers, but TikTokers interviewing people, and they're doing their own live feed like on YouTube. So what does that tell you? It tells you that there's a power vacuum. The old guard is trying to see how they can get their fingers into the future. It's not going to happen. They waited too long. But in that power vacuum, I think that's why Diddy and everybody's going down, because they're not as powerful as they used to be. And money is changing hands. And the old guard is losing to a new guard. And the new guard still might be old money from different ways, but the old money is coming in sideways. So there's different camps. Just because somebody's rich and old money don't mean that they all get along and they wish the best for each other. So the old guard is losing power. The new guard is taking over, which also might be rich, but they're new to the industry. And you think about it, if you're new and everybody that's running something is loyal to the old person, what's the first thing you do? You get rid of them. You get rid of them. I think that the new guard and the new thing is taking over, and I think they're getting rid of all the old people. And that includes the gatekeepers, the Diddies, and everybody else that used to gatekeep and do the bidding and this and that. They're getting rid of them because they're going to set up their own gatekeepers. So I think it's a weird time where money's not there. People are losing control. There's a power vacuum. Well, very power gap, and the warring factions come in and try to take over. But the new factions that take over, they don't want the old people loyal to the old army. Get them out of here. So I think it's a way of also cleaning house, right? Cleaning house. And if you destroy it enough, then you'll get the house dirt cheap, right? You'll get the house dirt cheap. And that's all they do. That's all they care about. Anyway, Miss Jacka Trey said, watch the old Rock Nation brunch, and Diddy laying with the old nasty white man is a sugar daddy. Reminds me of the guy that owns Virgin. No, Diddy's the godfather of his children. I did a live on that. Ron Burkle. That is Diddy's the godfather of his kids. He is his sugar daddy because everything that Diddy did from everything that Diddy's done from Revolt on down, Ron Burkle has been the main investor, and he uses Diddy as a front, and Diddy gets his cut, but he brings stuff to Ron Burkle. Let's also not forget, I believe Ashton Kutcher and Diddy. Was it Ashton Kutcher? They even invested in like some type of water. It didn't go anywhere, but Ron Burkle was behind that too. But Ron Burkle is Diddy's benefactor, and it's also, he's the godfather of a few of Diddy's children. And Diddy actually went on record. I did a whole video about it where Diddy said Ron Burkle was throwing him his coming out party. Diddy's words, not mine. He says, my coming out party. I feel like I don't need to hide anymore, this and that. Anyway, Nicole Denise said, side note, what products do you use on your hair? Do you know what? So Edge Booster, and then do you know Ouai products? Ouiu, Ouai? Oh, I thought it was Oi, but it's Ouai. And also there's this stuff called K18. Have you guys tried it? So K18, you have to get the prep shampoo. Then there's like this cream that when you're done washing your hair, you don't have to condition. You comb it through your hair. No, you run it through your hair with your fingers. You have to section your hair off, but run it through your hair with your fingers. And then you leave it on for 4 minutes, and then you comb it through your hair, right? They say only put 3 pumps. Okay, I times that by 8, right? Each braid get 3 pumps. But and then you just have to put the leave-in oil before you blow dry or air dry or whatever. K18 is like a game changer, but I think Ouiu are like the best too, right? You know what? I'll put my hair products in the link in Amazon Prime, okay? And even the comb, y'all swear I never use. I'll put that. I'll put that in. Anyway, thank you, Nicole. Rella Bella said, love from London. You need the lowdown on this new Judge Aram because the photos of him on Google are giving inexperience more corruption. I find it odd that they removed the black man from the case because the black judge was not having it, but what do you know? Will you do a video? Thank you, Rella Bella. Shannon 8 says, will you do a video about Lou Teller, her connection to the churches, Kardashians, Diddy? I would love to do that. I actually know a lot about that. Maybe I will break it into a video. Tellich Smear, thank you so much for the super sticker. Joanne White, thank you so much for the super sticker. Nia M said, getting my daily fix of teeth after work. I know tomorrow I'm going to try to go live during work, you guys, okay? Jules C. Bob said, hey, Tisa from Scotland, loving your diddler coverage. Also, to jail, is it to jail or to hell? To hell Smear said, alert, alert, Miss Tisa, alert. A new judge was just assigned to the Diddy case, and his new attorney specializes in death penalty cases. I mean, I said in the beginning that Diddy's is looking at life or death penalty, and people laughed. And now his new lawyer, I think last week everybody called me a liar when I said, yo, Mark Agnafilio has been fired. Specializes in death penalty. You know, I'm going to go live right after this to talk about the new case. But first, let's get into the Ava Baroni stuff, and then we can talk about the Diddy stuff.
That he produced. It's awesome. It's cool. He was a great guy. Met his kid. It was a lot of fun.
Okay, hold on. He said I met his kid. I said that girl ain't older than you. Okay, let's get into the Ava Baroni stuff, okay? They say fans are worried about what's going on with Ava Baroni, okay? There is something weird going on. I just want to give you guys an update in case you haven't noticed. Here's a video of Ava. I'm going to frame that really quick. Then I'm going to read the article that TMZ, which is firmly, in my opinion, Team Diddy, actually wrote about Ava, which gives more questions. And then there is a girl that's been on the web saying she's Ava Baroni. And she put up a very, very disturbing message. But hold on, there's a little bit going on. Hold on, let's go.
My name's Ava. I'm a Scorpio.
No, so y'all remember
this?
Last
name? Oh, Ava Combs.
What's your other last name?
Ava Baroni.
Ava Baroni Combs.
Okay, so why is this weird? Because we now know Diddy. Before we thought this was playful and a little weird. Now we know Diddy is like, what's your other last name? And we know he likes emasculating people and cutting off parental ties. But keep going.
Yes, it was breaking news. Diddy adopted a white child. I want you to tell them the story about how I adopted you. But you still have beautiful parents but you're my child also. But please tell the story.
So, I was on the streets, and then Papa Combs decided that he would like to be a caring man. So then he saw me, and
even if this is a joke, we're going to get into what we found, but I just want to say how weird this is. Even if this is a joke, it's a weird joke to be doing with somebody else's child. It's a weird joke to be doing with somebody else's child. And if that was me, I'd be like, Ava, if you don't get yourself on out of it, if that was me, I would have been sitting right there and been like, cut, cut, cut. But it's a weird joke, even what you're getting her to say, to do with somebody else's child.
Decided to pick me up and said to come inside and play with his kids.
Ava, that's like a little bit like borderline suspect. I don't want nobody, we want to get it clear. I adopted you like Madonna adopted kids and everybody else adopted kids, Charlize Theron, everybody that's ever adopted Sandra Bullock. I adopted you because I felt that you could, enjoy also having a black parent to take care of you and help you out. So,
look at the way she's moving away from him.
It's crazy out here online. So play with the kids, and I got permission from your mother, and to say all of that, just make it, it's crazy.
Got permission from her mother. Remember that line.
Well, I met Jesse and Delilah when I was 6 months old.
6 months.
And then
So if she met Jesse and Delilah when she was 6 months old, right? Because you see Jesse and Delilah in the back cheesing. I do believe that part of the story is true. Again, Diddy said he got permission from your mother. He didn't say anything about father, which makes me think, what is his relationship to Ava Baroni's mother?
basically sisters, all 4 of us. So, and then I always come over.
Yes.
And
And it's Ava Baroni Combs. Come on. Let's go.
Okay, it's definitely weird, okay? So keep this in mind. This girl, Ava Baroni Combs, now she looks a lot like Ava, but we don't know if she's there. if this is her. Her videos have a lot of views. She came out right after that video and said, "Hi, I'm Ava Baroni Combs, and I am fine." She looks a lot like a grown-up Ava, and you see her videos have a lot of different views. But before we get into what she actually posted, let's get into TMZ's article, because I think what is important is what was said and was not said. They said a resurfaced video of Diddy introducing his adopted daughters has felt concern for the girls' well-being in the wake of Diddy's arrest and indictment. But we've learned he was never the father despite his claims. Ava, from the 2022, despite claiming on Instagram Live he adopted her because he wanted her to have a Black parent. The footage seems relevant, especially in the wake of all the blank trafficking allegations against Diddy. But here comes the TMZ spin. Our sources say the whole thing is a skit and was overblown by concerned fans. In the video, Diddy gives Ava a kiss on the cheek and says he adopted her with her mother's permission. And he tells a story about how she was on the street before Papa Combs decided to that he was going to be a caring man. We're told Ava has known Diddy and Kim Porter's teenage twin daughters, Delilah, since they were all little, and she has her own real parents who are caring for her. Now, pause. I did a lot of research to actually find out who these Baronis are. It's odd to me that your child is on video with a accused schmex trafficker getting kisses on the cheek, blah, 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 blah. They're saying parents, TMZ, but Diddy only referenced a mother. We all know that Diddy loves moving the men out the way and moving in on women that have children. Ava Baroni's mother is in a few pictures I'm going to show you in a second. It begs you to believe, what is the relationship? Is it like Sarah Chapman? Is it like the Kim Porter situation? Is it like the Dana Tran situation, or the Gina Hung, or even the Young Miami situation? It's clearly not Young Miami, because Young Miami's kids were never around Diddy. I guess that was Miami being a good mom. And Ava Baroni was getting kisses on the cheek and having to go up on YouTube Live and actually give their whole thing. But let me just get this out the way before we listen to what she has to say, right? They're saying that she has her own real parents who are caring for her. Again, it's weird that the parents didn't come out on record and make statements. It's weird that these real parents that are caring for her didn't come out and say whether, oh my God, like, it's chilling that our daughter was around this monster, or we believe he's innocent. It's just chilling that they're not making any comments. It's like saying, yeah, I have a real boyfriend that's caring for me. And you'd be like, we ain't never seen this mofo. We don't know if he exists. What are you talking about? And we all go to the same school, so you should have saw him. Our sources say Ava's parents were friends with Kim, and she remains close with Delilah and Jesse. But Diddy's never had a parental role with her, legally or otherwise, and he hasn't been in her life recently, with her family keeping their distance from him. Again, who is her family? This girl is a ghost. Now the parents are talking to TMZ, and they don't have this and they don't have that. Your daughter's name is all over TikTok, and her face is all over TikTok. If you would think that if her parents were actually active, they would come out and say something in their daughter's defense. Anyway, that was weird, but listen to this Ava Baroni. Again, we don't know this is Ava Baroni's account. She looks a lot like Ava Baroni. This little girl has been in the twins' life forever. Diddy raises her like a daughter. These parents that care for her, nobody can actually produce. But listen to this, right? Really quick. Two snaps and a point to CPS, CEOs, elites have been involved in Hollywood for years. Hollywood is crashing. Neo Ziggy said, hey, gal, hey, what's up, Neo? And also Kay said, Diddy is just a branch in the forest of corruption, peripheral. Keep up the good work. He is a branch, but baby, he is a branch in the forest of corruption. But I will say to everyone that thinks, I know you're not saying this, but everybody thinks there won't be. He is a branch, but you realize that's how forests are cut down. You cut them, trees that are so big that you just can't cut them down on their own. You have to cut off the branches first, and then you go for the base. Again, the forest is being chopped down. So this what was found on the Eva.
I will never.
Baroni Combs. They posted this voice note, and I know it's not her, but it's somebody, I forget her name. I want to say Nivette or Yvette, that was talking about something. I think about even something that happened with Kanye, but they posted it on the account. Hold on.
fucking forget. It isn't actually the aspect of being sexually assaulted. That's not what haunts me. It's this. It's as these two grown men were pawing at me, trying to take my clothes off, I look over to this man and asking for help, and I literally mouth the word help. And we lock eyes. And he looks away. I'm like, okay, there's two more men in the room. And I look to his engineer next, who's sitting right next to him. And I know that he's married, and he just had a little baby girl. And I'm like, okay, he's gonna do something. And I look at him next, and I'm like, okay, like, do something, say something, do anything. And he looks down at his phone and starts texting. And then I was like, oh, fuck. I look at Kanye's cousin next, and I'm like, do something, you know, like fucking do something. And he spins his chair around. And that's when that, like, gut-wrenching fear set in. And I was like, oh shit. No one's fucking saving me tonight. No one's gonna do anything. And this is the part.
Yeah. So again, that was posted on the maybe Ava Baroni's account. Now, why did I bring you this update? Because even the excuses, again, I've been trying to find out what's going on with this girl. Even the excuses that Diddy's camp has caught up because social media won't stop talking about it doesn't add up. This girl has known Jesse and Delilah since she was 6 months old. You said you got permission from the mother, which means, and I do believe that, by the way the girl looked. But the mother, I think, is one of the people in Diddy's things. The father has not come spoken out. And how are you saying that both parents are this and that and blah, 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 and you're trying to stay out the spotlight? Meanwhile, your child's face is all over TikTok. The fact that they cannot produce anybody to say they are her parents, besides TMZ, no one else, the Daily Mail, the New York Times, New York Post, Page 6, all these people are interested in it. Nobody but TMZ, who gets these weird exclusive from Diddy's camp, can even prove for a second that everything is kosher with this girl. Nobody can prove it, right? Nobody can prove it. Nobody can do anything except give us not even sound bites, but give us statements. There's a little girl's face splashed off everywhere. And even if you also think, okay, fine, she's not missing, it was still weird what Diddy was saying. And also the way they said he got permission from her mom. Again, the whole situation is weird. I'm trying to search for more information. That is an old clip that it popped up on the new Ava Baroni account. But again, I go back to this, especially with the Ava Baroni. Just hear me out. I kind of feel like Ava Baroni's parents are tight with Diddy if her parents are around. I feel like the Ava Baroni thing, just hear me out. I feel like it's kind of like a Trojan horse with Diddy, where they want more and more and more and more and more and more and more attention to get on Ava Baroni, and more and more and more and more and more and more conspiracy theories to come out about Ava Baroni, and more people trying to uncover, only for them to use this at a later date to say, you see, and here she is, and here's her parents. Maybe. Now, and I know that like Diddy's lawyers have been on some Benny Hill stuff. So it also could be the fact that what everybody suspects and fears is true. Again, I'm not going to lie to you. A couple months ago, I was just like, he wouldn't. But after hearing Tony Busby talk about the age of the victims and all this stuff, well, now I'm looking at things a little bit strange. I'm looking at things a little bit weird. I'm looking at things like we actually live in Diddy land. So at the end of the day got to end and the truth will be revealed. But I just wanted to bring you guys these updates. Listen, really quick. Also, I'm going to Miss Boss Diva said Hi, T said, thanks for delicious and yummy tea. That's right. Listen, you guys, let me jump off of here really quick. I'm going to take like maybe a 20-minute break, and then I'm going to come back on live to talk about the other updates because there's so much going on with Diddy. And I promise you guys tomorrow, baby, we're going to have back-to-back lives. So if you got a long work day, I know it's Friday. I know anybody ain't getting off early to go to the beach because it's too cold. But Friday, starting early, 10 o'clock a.m. on, we have them back lives. Okay. You have my word. Until when y'all get off on Friday? 4, 3. Tell your boss you're going downstairs to Starbucks and don't come back. But listen, let me get off here so I can go live right now before like it gets too late. 2 snaps and a point said, yes, some parents have kids to exploit them. Listen, at the thing of the day, it's so sick to hear, but there are too many people that look the other way and pray for the best because they want money in their pocket and they just pray everything's okay. And some people are really evil and they know everything's not okay and they still don't care. You know, they had to do it. And now the kids got to take one for the team too. Again, I will say there is a special place in hell. The monsters already have a place in hell. They are hell. There's a special place in hell for people that just stand there and witness stuff and don't do anything about it. There's a special place in hell for those people. You know, anyway, you guys, let me hop off. I'll be back on in about 20 minutes or a half hour. Turn your notifications on. In the meantime, I'll try to drop a video in between then. Okay. See you guys soon. Bye.